try that again. Alright guys, this is Christopher DAV1D on ECF TV and Aerovapor on YouTube. I apologize, I know I look like a mess. I just got out of the shower, got home from work, and I'm trying to do a review of a Phoenix rebuildable atomizer that I have been trying to do forever. Now, I'm going to have some close-up video to show you, but in the meantime, let me tell you a little bit about my journey with the Phoenix. It has not been a positive one. I got the first, it comes with a coil pre-built in it from the manufacturer. Clearly looks like machine-built twisted coil. And it worked okay. The vapor production was good. The flavor wasn't great. I got sort of muted flavor. For me anyway, it was muted, almost like as if I was using a CE2. So I figured, let me try taking it apart and putting in another coil, because they send you an already wound wicking coil. So I replace it. I put it in just about perfect. I mean, none of the metal wick or wire was touching the outside, which I'll show you in a minute. It was set in there perfect. The wicks were tucked down. I would get this heavy throat hit with next to no vapor production. And this is where my saga began. After that, I used every wick and coil that I had available to me. When I say that, I mean the wick and coil that they sent me from Vapor Bitch when I bought this for $40, something else I'll get into later. Wick and coil that I had from an atomizer from Inhaler. I took apart a CE2, clipped the wires, used that wick and coil, I've unwound it, rewound it. I did the same with one by keeping it wound, put them in here. So I have made probably a good 14 perfect coils, not to mention the shit ones in the beginning. Like perfect from the factory looking coils, and all of them gave me the same result. This last time that you're about to see, it got better. I shortened the, right now it looks like shit because it's been used, but I shortened up the wick a little bit because I was using a lot of wick before, and I made sure that there was no extra wire, so all the coils were right up against the post on both sides with no excess sticking out, and also that the coils were not touching the metal posts. The coil and wick, I want to say, is actually stuff that I got from Vapor Bitch when I ordered it. At first I got the same shitty flavor with that heavy throat hit, but I started to use it more and more and it started to get better. Again, I'm still not getting a ton of vapor. I still get that slightly burnt flavor, no matter how much I put on the wick. But it's better. Performing much better. I'll give it that. It's better than what it was, but it's still not a vape that I could leave the house with and count on it as my all-day vape. So this is where I am going to show you really quick how to make a coil and install it into your Phoenix. Now this one is not going to look perfect because it is very difficult to do this on camera. So there's a couple things I wanted to do that I didn't do. Like, one tip that I'd give everybody is when you're getting ready to place your coil and wick in here, put one wire in through the hole. You'll know what I mean in a minute. And then stuff your wick in there, because there's actually a little like basin at the bottom, a little juice well that can hold juice, and if you can get your wick into that well, in theory it should wick up better. I have not had that happen for me yet, but so try and tuck your wicks in before you get the coil through the hole. It'll be much easier than when you have them both in there trying to cram down the coil. I did it the hard way this time just because I was on camera and it was a pain in the balls. I was at work getting paid, $25 an hour to make coils. So here it is, and I will be back after the show. And that's it. I will tell you that this thing was working terribly for me. Really, really terrible. I've done 10 to 15 wicks and coil with at least 3/4 of them being damn near perfect. The first one I got from the factory worked okay. The one that was installed, not great, not great vapor production, not great. It just worked okay. Took it apart with the extra one they gave me, put that in there, worked terribly. Same effect Eva had. So then I started making coils. I used the stuff they gave me, I used CE2 stuff, none of them worked. Finally, the last one I tried, I shortened up the wick a lot. So instead of using, you saw in the video, instead of using a ton of wick, I just used enough, just enough. Not so, there was a ton of wick inside of there, because I think part of the problem was the airflow. There wasn't enough airflow because it was so stuffed with wick that I wasn't getting good vapor production. So now that there's airflow down there, it's performing much better. Is it my favorite vape or the best vape I've had? No. But it is at least working now and working decently. So I know some other people on Facebook and on Threads were having a similar issue where they would have a big throat hit or burny flavor with not a lot of vapor production. Try cutting your wick shorter. Make sure that there's no excess coil. Make sure you cut off all the excess coil after you put it through the holes. Make sure that there's no coil. When the coil comes out of the hole, make sure there's none touching the metal. So clip it and then push it in so it's not touching the outside and causing you... Sorry, my son woke up. That is it for me. Like I was saying before it got cut off, make sure you clip any excess wick to make sure it's not touching the metal, because you can short it out. If you are having the same issues I was having, give that stuff a shot that I said with cutting the wick shorter, the coil, what have you. And last but not least, give it plenty of break-in time, because this one tasted like shit when it started, and now it's starting to slowly get decent flavor without that burning flavor in there. So that's all I got. That is the Phoenix Rebuildable Atomizer. Again, I got it for 40 bucks at Vapor Bitch, but now Vapor Bitch is 20, and you can get them at a million other places for $15. So just Google it and go from there. Don't forget, TVN, 8 p.m. Friday night Eastern Standard Time. I will be on with Jay, and then Sunday nights, Evil Woman will be on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She also has an incredible show, so make sure you come by. Tons of giveaways, tons of cool shit, tons of information. Until then, I am so sorry that this video went so long, and I will see you guys later. I am going to bed.